We're speaking to Lawrence Wong this morning. He is a Malaysian-born actor, but he's made it big in China.
Yeah.
We're so honored to have you here with us this morning, Lawrence.
Hey guys, no, thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been a long time since I saw you, and such a
Yeah,
great thing to
Yeah,
see you
the
again.
the brother and sister have reunited here.
that's right. We acted in a series, a local
Called Time to
series.
Embrace.
Yeah, in
Time to Embrace.
2011, and we played brother and sister. So yeah,
You guys actually look alike, man.
we do.
Jeez.
Oh wow.
You do, wow, yeah.
Such an honor to look like Lawrence Wong.
No,
Anyways,
Belinda
let's
is like the
let's talk about you, Lawrence. Tell us a little bit
Mm.
more about your growing up years. I understand you were born in Johor Bahru.
Yes, I was born in Johor Bahru, and I came to Singapore to study since 7 years old, the primary
Oh.
school. So I actually commute to and fro Johor Bahru and Singapore every day.
Oh, you were one of those kids.
I
My
was one of
God.
those kids, yeah. I have to
Or they will wake
at
up at like 5 a.m. in the morning,
Yeah.
take the
no,
bus over to
4:30 a.m.
Oh my God.
4:30 a.m. You know, and I did that for, I think, like 10 years even. Yeah,
Yeah.
since 7 years old. Every day I commute to and fro Malaysia and Singapore just to study. Yeah.
Okay. How many siblings do you have, and do your siblings do they all commute as well, or what?
I have one brother and one sister, and yes, we all went through the same thing. We all went through the same thing. Yeah.
Jeez.
Was that a decision that your parents decided with you? Because you were the oldest, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes, I'm the eldest.
Yeah, that's the decision that your parents decided with you that, okay, Singapore, to get educated in Singapore instead of in Malaysia.
Yeah, I think so because because I think because my dad at that time feels that it's better to be English educated in Singapore, whereas in Malaysia there's a higher chance of me to be less well versed in English. You know, there's nothing good or bad about it. It's just at the point of time my dad decided that would be better for me, and that's what he wanted for me.
Options,
And yeah,
right?
yeah,
Yeah.
options. So yeah, that's what I did.
Did you hate it at that time though, the commute and the long hours?
Not really, because I realized that at that age you don't think that much. You just do whatever your parents
And it's
tell
an
you to do,
adventure, is
you know?
it?
I mean, now that I think back about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty tough, yeah, because I have to wake up at 4:30 a.m. and but back then I wouldn't think that way, you know. It's like I just do it. Yeah, it's just something
Okay.
that I have to do. Yeah.
I've seen those kids before. They look, at the end of the day, they look super tired though.
Super tired. Yeah.
So you wake up at 4:30, you get to Singapore to go to school, and what time do you get home normally?
Well, it depends, because sometimes you might have like ECA, or sometimes after school you go to the arcade with your friends, or you go to McDonald's to study, you know. So it really depends. I would say evening,
Okay.
late afternoon to evening, yeah.
What kind of student were you back in school?
I was.
Were you the studious
He
type
just said he was studying,
No,
Mel.
no.
at
I was,
a fast food chain? Yeah.
yeah, I was a really rebellious student, you know, like most people don't believe it now after looking at me, but I used to be a really bad student. I was really rebellious, which I really regret, because I think studying is such an enjoyable thing. It could have been such an enjoyable thing for me, you know, but I was rebellious. I was playful, so you know, I wish I can have I can do better. Yeah.
Yeah. But when did the thought of being in the entertainment industry cross your mind? At what age do you think, okay, maybe I want to grow up to be a singer or an actor?
I don't know, actually. I mean, I don't really have a fixed point as to, you know. In fact, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a vet, because I love animals so much, and I remember thinking like, oh wow, how nice it is if I can, like, you know, save animals' life every day. It sounds so cliche, but yeah, that was really what I was thinking back then. But of course, I did really bad at my studies, and I failed everything, and there's no way I can be a vet. Yeah. And while I was studying, I actually did some commercials here and there. And after I graduated, I sort of continued doing that. And I remember back in those early days, because I don't know what else I can do, and I fail almost in all my subjects. And I remember I have to cross the causeway with my book. We used to have a book that we have our pictures. We call it the modeling book.
Right.
That you have your pictures and you show to like casting people.
Right.
And I remember I would have to cross the causeway, and I put my book in this supermarket plastic bag to carry my book across the causeway, and I'll show it to the casting people. And I took such a long time to commute, to travel, to go to the casting place, and the casting is like over in 5 minutes. So I started off that way. Because honestly I don't know what else to do, to be frank. Yeah.
Okay, but when was it that you really did put your foot into the entertainment industry? Like after shooting commercials and all that, when was the, that first chance that you got to act in a show, maybe sing in a band?
Well, I mean, I think the one of the most major, again, it's so hard for me to pinpoint like a milestone, like a fixed point. Oh, this is the point where I step foot into the entertainment industry, because I have been so involved in productions here and there. But I would say, to me, one of the most determining factor that, okay, I want to be an actor, is when I shot this tele movie in Singapore called The Promise.
Right. Okay.
That really got me hooked, and I remember thinking that, wow, actually I'm pretty good at this. I can act pretty well, and it's not that difficult for me. And I enjoy it. I enjoy being part of a production. I enjoy interacting with the crew. I enjoy the lifestyle of being an actor. And yeah, that was when I really put like a more serious thought into, hey, I want to be an actor. Yeah.
Okay. But I read that when you were in your teens, you were actually part of a boy band.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What happened with the band?
That was a blur, because I was young and I went to Japan, and I was supposed to be part of this Japanese dance boy band pop idol group.
Wow, in Japan. Okay.
In Japan, and but strangely, I cannot remember too many details of that period, because I don't know, it just felt like a blur. Like things happened so quickly, so fast, and I was so young, and
How
and
young were
every
you?
day, I think I was like 17.
Straight
was
out of
right-
high school.
I
Yeah.
was straight out of junior college, 17, I think, maybe. And when I was in Japan, we do the same thing every day. So it felt like I lost track of time. Because we were just doing the same thing every day. We, like, every morning you just train, and then people judge you, people test you, people monitor you. You were with the same group of people every day, and you have the same routine. So it felt like I don't really have a sense of time back then. So now that when I think about it, it felt like a blur to me.
Was it like, was it a slightly good blur, or you just rather forget it?
I mean, it's an experience, but I remember being really, really homesick. And I remember being really, really lonely and homesick, and I felt really out of place. And so when we were supposed to debut as a pop, dancing, singing group idol, but that didn't happen. And I remember the Japanese company back then wanted me to stay on to be an actor, or to do like variety shows and stuff like that. But I refused to, and it's like, oh, I just want to go home, and I came home.
But how did you get that gig in the first place? Like, how
do you
did
speak
you
Japanese or
get
something?
to Japan?
I don't, but back there I have to learn.
Okay.
I was actually cutting my hair at a salon, and one of the Japanese managers who brought some girls there to cut their hair spotted me and just talked to me and saying that they're trying to put together a group, and asked me if I'm interested. Yeah, that's how it started.
Wow. From a haircut all the way to
Yeah, from a
Japan.
So if you want to be an actor, go get your haircut. Or you're gonna be in a boy band, go get your haircut.
No, but you still have to look as good as Lawrence.
Yes, exactly.
Before people will
too
approach
kind.
you.
Yes.
Okay, now tell us about your first ever acting project, though. So, like, how did you fall into that?
I
Do you
mean,
remember your first ever acting project?
Or is it just a blur as well?
I mean, I actually took part in various productions as extras, caliphate, or really small roles, on and off. You know how sometimes when productions they need like maybe better looking extras to be who's boyfriend. You know, they will approach their modeling agencies.
Yeah.
You know, and get some like, yeah, that's how I started. You know, so yeah, but the first main role that I can really bite on, I would say, is The Promise, and I got it because the producer, the wife of the producer, I've worked with in a commercial before. So she remembered me, and she recommended me to her husband, who was at the time looking for a new face to be part of this show. Yeah.
Okay. Were you the main role in The Promise?
I'm the first lead, actually.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
the first lead.
All right. What was it about The Promise that made you feel like, oh wow, this is something that I might want to do for a living? Is it the cooperation with the entire team, or you think you did well under the director?
Well, I think I was really blessed to be working with a director that makes me feel like this whole process is something that I want to be a part of. You know, it could have been I was working with a director or the team that made me feel like, I don't want to be part of this thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's a huge difference, right? I'm sure Belinda, like it's a huge difference. So I was really blessed to be the Promise, the director of The Promise, and the whole crew was so nice, and I was really into the role, I guess, because I was acting as a 18-year-old student who fell in love with a 17-year-old student who has Down syndrome. So she has an IQ of a 11-year-old, but I fell in love with her, you know, and the love is just so pure, and we face a lot of challenges from our parents, and in the end, her wish was to see a sunflower field, and I actually took all my savings and I brought her to Thailand to see sunflower field. I mean, it's not very realistic, but you know, the storyline is just so pure and touching, and I don't know, it's everything that just makes me feel like, wow, I can do this, you know.
Yeah. And what year was that, The Promise? Do you remember?
I don't know, you have to Google.
Okay, I'll have to
2014.
Google that. 2014.
Oh, really?
2014.
Okay, I don't remember at all. Yeah,
So from then, has it been smooth sailing all the way as an actor? Was there
No,
ever a
actually.
time when you just wanted to, like, maybe this is not for me, I just want to give this up?
Oh, a lot of times I feel like this is not for me. I think primarily because after The Promise, I didn't manage to get any roles or I wasn't part of any productions that gripped me as much as The Promise.
Or inspired you in a way, right? Yeah.
Exactly, in Singapore. And also I think primarily because during that time in Singapore, the market, they don't require young guys like me, because most of the lead roles, they want guys who are much older, who are darker, who are bigger built, who are manly, you know, whereas I'm this young kid who is so fair, and I'm like scrawny, and you know, so I don't fit the prototype of a male lead in Singapore at that time. So after acting for a while, I actually went to Malaysia, which was better for me, actually. Yeah.
So
One interesting thing, though, Lawrence even went to Thailand in 2015 to shoot a Thai drama series in Thai.
Yes, in Thai.
How was that
Crazy.
experience for you, Lawrence?
It was crazy, you know. I was super crazy because but back then I met a Thai manager who felt that I have a market in Thailand. and urged me to go and try, which I did. And she actually put me in this production called It's for True For You channel. And the show is called Yes Sir, My Boss. And my role is a Singaporean who goes to Thailand and who goes into this printing company and try to revive their dying business.
Okay.
So in the process, because of cultural differences and language differences, a lot of drama happened, a lot of comedic drama happened. So it's like a sitcom, actually. It's like a
Right.
sitcom.
But you didn't have to pick
So-
up the language then.
He
I
had
had
to.
to, I
Still
had
had
to
to.
memorize. I had
Right.
to because there was no voice dubbing. They used my real voice,
Right.
so I had to memorize the lines in Thai. And I remember it was crazy because I would go like every month. I would go there for 4 days. One day I would shoot one episode, and they will give me the script the day before, so I wouldn't sleep. I would just memorize the Hanyu pinyin of the Thai words.
The
Right.
Romanized Thai words.
Yeah, the Romanized Thai words. And yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I didn't expect myself to be able to do it, but I did it. But it was also at the time I realized that actually we humans can achieve a lot of things. It's like actually we really don't have a limit. You know, it's really how far you want to push yourself and how willing are you to do something. And I mean, that's what I learned during that whole experience, that to me is one of the most important lessons I have picked up.
That is crazy to pick up Thai. My God.
Well, that's just like me when I do Chinese.
Chinese,
I
right?
first started acting in Chinese drama series as well, I had to
Yeah.
memorize my lines. But
Yeah.
where
You
there's a
did
will,
it.
there's a way, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but picking up Mandarin because you know Chinese,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah.
Thai is like
It's like
tom
another
yum
world's
and stuff like
language,
this. I'm
yeah.
like that's a whole different
Yeah.
thing right there, right?
Yeah, but like he did it, and it was an experience for
That's
him. But it's
amazing.
but it's not
Yeah.
something that you would want to do again, would you?
No, because
Lawrence?
I realized that after a while I wasn't acting. I was just memorizing lines, and I was just standing at the right position, vomiting out the right lines. And after a while, I don't even care what you're talking about. Like I see my co-actors, I can see your expression, like, okay, I think I'm done with the lines. It's my turn now. So I just vomit out whatever I've memorized. And to me, that's not acting.
Yeah.
That's not acting. And also because I think if I was like, say, 17 or 18 years old, I wouldn't mind just staying in Bangkok for like 3 years and just work and learn the language. But I'm not that young anymore, and I don't want to waste time doing that. So I might as well just give up totally. Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Is there a difference when you acted here in Malaysia and Singapore and Thailand and now in China? How is it different acting in these
huge
different
difference.
countries? Yeah.
I think firstly because the budget is very different. So the number of, say for example, the number of people on set is very different. I think in Thailand you can easily get like 100 people on set, but in China you can easily get 300 people on set.
Wow.
You have people doing the finest, like they're so specific in what they do. Yeah, and because they're so specific, they're so good at what they do, and also maybe because the manpower is so much bigger, the speed is a lot faster.
Yeah.
We can achieve a lot more scenes at a really short time. I say, for example, in China, we always have easily 3 cameras at least. I have shot 6 cameras at one time, you know. So it's like I go in, I act 2 times and the scene is done. So it's my first, when it was my first time in China, I was like, oh, we are done with this scene?
Yeah.
Huh? I only did 2 times, you know?
Because in Malaysia, you can explain how is it in Malaysia.
How does it work here?
Like in Malaysia and Singapore, when we have sometimes 1 camera or 2 cameras at most, you have to repeat this. You have to repeat the acting like 5-6 times, you know, and it's taxing for actors, you see, because there's only so much you can give, like especially if it's very emotional scenes where you have to cry or you have to whatever. It's very draining for an actor to have to repeat their performance so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for you going there, it was like, wow, this is great. But can you imagine if it's like someone who's used to that system over in China and then coming to Malaysia to where
Oh,
it's
they
like
cannot take it.
I've
They
got to
wouldn't be
do
able to
how
take
many
it.
times, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
there'll be like one scene you have to do a close up, and then from the left side, from the right side, because of the limited amount of
Yeah,
cameras.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. Now, okay. Now tell us about your breakthrough into China. How did that happen?
Well, it's pretty unbelievable actually because I was after Malaysia, I actually
Yeah.
came back to Singapore to do a few more shows, and and but I I kept feeling like I have a lot more to give. I kept feeling like I have so much to give, but I have no opportunities to
Nowhere
show
to
what I
give
can
it,
do.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like I can do a lot more, but I don't really have the chance to do it. And so I happened to bump into my current management company in Singapore, in China, who came to Singapore to shoot something, and they just ask if I'm interested to go over, and immediately I say yes, because to me that was my last try. Honestly, I was telling myself I'm going to give myself like maybe 2 years in China, and if I don't make it, I'm going to come back and I'm going to do something else.
Be a vet.
Yeah, maybe, why not? Why not? Yeah, and I have zero expectations going to China because they have a lot of talent over there.
Yeah.
If you think you're good looking, there are so many people who are so much better looking than you. If you think you're talented and you're a freaking good actor, there are so many better actors over there than you. Yeah, they have all shapes and sizes of all kinds of people over there. So why you? And you're a foreigner. So I have zero expectations actually.
Yeah.
And maybe because I have zero expectations, so I was really relaxed, and I was just going there to check things out, and I put myself back to ground zero. I put myself back to ground zero, and and yeah, and I have a lot to thank to my China management because they're really good people, and they really believed in me. And I think I was really blessed and lucky in that way to be able to find a company or a team who really believed in me, because you can be in this industry for 20 years and you cannot find anyone who believe in you and who believe in you so much that they try to do whatever it takes to push you up.
Yeah.
And so I was blessed in that way. So within like 2 months in China, I got my first big role in a drama series, which was a second male lead, and then just roll on from there. Yeah.
Okay. But so in 2 months, you got your first role in
Yeah.
China, in a
Yeah.
drama series in China.
Yeah.
But were there any other challenges, or everything was just smooth sailing in China? Did you get culture shock when you first moved over there?
Well, honestly, not really, but yes and no. Okay, yes and no, because I am sure there are instances where I feel like, oh, this is not easy, or I feel challenged, or stuff like that. But because my character is those kind that I don't think much about. Like, even if I bump into an obstacle, I wouldn't think it's an obstacle. I would just take it as something that I have to solve, or I have to work through. I wouldn't think much about it as an obstacle. And plus, because I have been traveling so much and being exposed to so many, and I have to work with so many different cultures in the first place, that it comes really easy to me to adapt. Yeah, to adapt. So it wasn't that bad actually, and
Yeah.
and China is such a cosmopolitan country right now, and such a modern country right now. They're so much more advanced than us. If you guys didn't know, because I went there thinking that, oh, I might have to, for example, I couldn't find Japanese food, or I couldn't find, like, they even have Malaysia food there in China.
Okay.
You can find them easily, or Singaporean food in China, you can find it so easily. So yeah, it's not that difficult to adapt here.
Yeah. Okay. But how about this how about your breakthrough role in Story of Yanxi Palace? Tell us more about that. Your role as Hailan Cha in this is like one of the biggest period drama series to come out of China in 2018. In fact, it was the most Googled TV show in the world in 2018.
Yeah.
How did you get this role? I mean, even JD's mom watched
Yeah,
this
man,
show.
dude.
Even I watched
She's
this
super
show.
excited. I'm talking to you right now.
And I don't even like period dramas, but I watched it and I'm like, wow, this is a good show. How did you get this role?
It was really easy. Well, my boss brought me to have lunch with the producer and the writer of the show, Mr. Yu Zheng.
Okay.
And yeah, just three of us. We were just having lunch, and then Yu Zheng asked me to be part of Yanxi Palace, and he gave me 3 roles to choose from. Hailan Cha, and this role called Yuan Chun Wang, this eunuch, and then this role called Hong Zhou, which is this prince. And me and my company decided to go with Hailan Cha in the end. And
Why?
that's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Wait. So there was no
Audition.
in a way audition.
Or
You got to choose what you wanted to take on.
Yeah, in a way, because Yu Zheng, we call him Yu Lao Shi now, and he just gave me 3 roles that he say he's willing to let me try. And
That's
I can just
unusual, right?
choose.
You usually never get to choose, right?
That's why I think I'm very blessed because I'm with a very good company who
Yeah.
has
connections.
connections connections.
Yeah.
So I did Hailan Cha, but of course, Hailan Cha is actually not written as how I portrayed it. Hailan Cha is ultimately a really big general, and in the script he's a bit more serious. But when I first got the script, I feel that, like, how should I put it? Like this palace show is really like it's kind of serious, and everybody is plotting against each other.
Yeah.
And in all honesty, it's actually like a women's show. There are a lot of female actors, there are actresses inside, and all the highlights of the show are on them. And of course, that male lead, the Fu Heng, and of course the emperor. And I was just asking myself, what can Hailan Cha contribute to the show? You know, so I decided that Hailan Cha should be a comic relief. Like, you know, like how you see all these people plotting against each other and you're so kanjiong, and then suddenly Hailan Cha comes out and he's a bit more lighthearted, and he maybe makes you laugh and smile a little bit more. And that's my direction with Hailan Cha. I wanted him to be a bit more lighthearted, a bit more funny, a bit more silly, so that firstly you will remember him, and secondly, it is like a mood. How to say, a mood changer, you know, in the show. Like, yeah.
You were given that liberty to change the feel of the character, I guess.
You know, the funny thing is, I didn't ask anyone. I just did it, and the director didn't say anything. And then, but after a few days, Yu Lao Shi WeChat me. The writer WeChat me and say, "Wow, your Hailan Cha is totally different from what I imagined it to be, but I like it, so just keep it."
Okay, that's good. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're probably going like, let's try this. Nobody's saying anything. Let's just go with it, right?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think you are the only person I know who has done a period drama in China. So maybe you can share with us some behind the scenes, some funny stuff, or some, like, you know, challenging stuff of shooting a period drama in China.
Well, like specifically with Yanxi Palace, it was really hot. We were wearing so many layers of clothes. And I even asked, like, you know, you can't see what's inside, right? Why do you have to wear so many layers of clothes? But I realized that you have to wear so many layers of clothes because you have to make the shape. You have to form the shape of the whole look.
It needs to look proper, then, right?
Yeah.
How many layers did you have underneath?
I easily have like 5 layers.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, and we even have a something like undergarment clothes that is made of towel, and that is to soak up your sweat.
Oh my God! Wow.
Yeah, we will. You can
He
see a
thought
lot.
about that.
You can see a lot through my Instagram.
Yeah.
Because I think I posted how many layers and stuff like that. But and it was summer and we were shooting and it was so hot that some of us actually got heat stroke.
Wow.
Yeah, like Mingyu, the actress that paired up with me, she got heat stroke once, and she was brought to the hospital because it was so hot.
Hospital. So it's serious.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Wow. It
Excuse
was
Bless
so
you.
serious that he sneezed. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Mingyu is thinking of you also
Yeah,
now.
I know, right?
me. Sure. Yeah, it was really hot, and it's like after every line, we will have sweat
Sweat.
dripping down our face, and the director was like, "Wipe the sweat, wipe the sweat." You know?
And it's
Now
not like you can hide it because you were bald.
Yeah,
Right?
I was just
Yeah.
gonna ask you, was that a ball cap or did you have to shave the front
Oh,
of your
of course,
head?
I have to shave everything.
Wow,
to
that's
shave everything,
commitment,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Wow.
I kind of like it actually. It's so convenient. It's so convenient, Yeah, I kind of like it.
Wow. Okay. And
Yeah.
and recently I remember my mother-in-law telling me that you were playing the male lead in this rom-com, I would say, called Girlfriend.
Girlfriend.
And I read up on it yesterday. It hit 900 million views in a couple of weeks.
Mm,
How is
yes.
that? I mean, is that just crazy or what, Lawrence?
I didn't expect that as well because, well, I really didn't expect that. But Girlfriend brought me a lot of new fans, not just in China, but I realized that, like say a show like Girlfriend from China, people from Vietnam, Cambodia, like Philippines,
Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, not just Southeast Asia. During that time, I have fans messaging me from Paris, from America, from Romania,
Wow.
like really, really weird places. And I would be like, what? Do you guys watch Girlfriend? And they'll be asking when is the next episode with English subtitles going to be come out, and stuff like that. So that really took me by surprise because I didn't realize that actually the outreach is so wide. Like the story of Yanxi Palace, Girlfriend, the outreach is really so wide as compared to, say, doing a show in Malaysia or doing a show in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm glad your mother-in-law liked it. Because
Not only my mother-in-law, I think a lot of people liked it, and they said that yeah. And the thing I don't quite understand why in China they have to dub the voice, so it makes it really disjointed. Even for their movies and their drama series, it's dubbing all the way, right?
because China is so big, and everyone's accent is different. So, like, say if you come from Guangzhou, your Chinese accent is actually really different from someone who comes from Beijing. And someone who comes from Beijing, your accent is really different from someone who comes from Xinjiang, for example. So you need to unify all the accent. So they will do the voice dubbing. And also, plus voice dubbing allows you to shoot much faster, like much, much faster.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't need to worry about like, oh, we didn't get that, or like there's this aeroplane or
No,
there's a
never,
traffic
never,
sound and that kind of
never.
thing.
Yeah, never.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Now that you've done all these roles from Malaysia to Singapore to Thailand to China, is there anything is there a role that particularly just made you want to do more of that kind of role?
Well, I actually hope to do a really good movie in China, but now it's harder because with the COVID situation, people don't really go to the cinemas anymore.
Yeah.
And because of that, not many movies are going to be filmed. But that has always been one of my wish, to shoot a really good movie.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But is there a role that you're looking forward to doing? Something maybe out of the ordinary?
No, I realize I have so many things I have not done before yet that it's so hard to pinpoint to like just one role.
Yeah.
I guess like in Singapore and Malaysia, we tend to do the same kind of genre of shows. But when you go to, like, say, China, for example, there are so many different genres that you can do, like 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 period drama. Within period drama, there's like palace. There's like this kind of like um, in Chinese we call it 仙侠剧, which is
like the village kind of.
no 仙侠剧 means like, which I've done once before. I was a mermaid. I was a male mermaid, with powers, and so we can do that, the kind of
Oh,
thing.
right, right.
Ah,
fly
okay, like
around
fantasy,
fantasy kind of like stuff. So within period itself, there's so many different kind of genres, and so there's so many things I haven't done before.
Yeah.
So
So you're still open to any kind of role that you can get. Yeah. Now, you actually mentioned in a post after you won Asia's Most Promising Actor Award in 2018 at the Asian American Television and Film Festival that you were once just so lost in this career path, right? Now, with all the successes that you've achieved, not only in China, but here in Malaysia, do you still feel as lost in this career path? Do you think this is where you're meant to be?
Yes, I think so, actually. I mean, I was lost primarily because I felt like I felt like I wasn't being able to really show people what I can do. And also plus financially, to be very, very honest, back at those times, you don't earn enough to feel like you feel like you can earn more, like
You're
back
a
in those
struggling
times.
actor, like
Yeah, I was a
serious-
struggling actor. I was struggling actor. So I feel like, am I supposed to do this, or should I give up and do something else? Should I, yeah. But now, of course, this is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm not going to give up. Yeah.
Okay. But what would you attribute your success in the acting world to? Is it all about the good looks?
No. I think many factors, timing, luck. Luck is really important. But I also believe that luck comprises of years and years of experience, hard work that you put into your craft, being good at what you do, being prepared. Everything comes together and form luck.
Yeah.
So luck is not just luck. Luck is really everything put together, years and years of things put together.
Yeah.
That puts you in that lucky position. So it's everything, and I think I'm also good at what I do, and plus, I don't know.
How did you?
It's so hard. It's so hard to
Lawrence, one thing I want to ask, how did you gain that confidence? Because back in 2011, when we were shooting together, you were like unsure of your skills, right, as an actor. So now, fast forward 2020, you're like, I'm a good actor. So how did you gain that confidence?
By constantly working, by hard work. By when I'm not working, I make sure that I don't stop trying to improve my craft. By how? Maybe I expose myself to a lot of shows, drama, series, everywhere from all around the world. Like I remember back in those days, I will try to find out why Korean actors are so good at doing unrealistic romantic scenes, but yet still make it look so natural, or why are Thai actors so good at why are their comedic timing so good? I will try to really go and like find out and research and just expose myself to many various factors of the craft and how I can use it on myself. So it's really a lot of
learning.
A lot of learning, and also constantly working, observing, reading, watching, many ways.
Okay. Did you end up going to any of these like acting classes or workshops?
No.
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 Okay.
No.
So-
Plus, of course, I think you also need a little bit of talent in the first place. Yeah, which I think I hope I have. But yeah, so it's just many factors. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well, we're very proud of you here in Malaysia. Actually,
Thank you.
a Malaysian making it into the top 35 most popular male actors in China. I mean, come
Thank you.
on.
Thank you.
So what's next for you, Lawrence? I believe you're back here in Southeast Asia, in Singapore and Malaysia for a movie project.
No, I actually did a series, an iQIYI series.
Mhm.
That was really interesting because it's about ghosts, but it's not exactly scary.
Okay.
I acted as this guy, this 24-year-old guy who can see ghosts, and because I can see them, I help them to fulfill their unfulfilled wishes before they go on to the other side of the world.
Mm.
And every episode is, to me, it's about humanity. It's about love. It's about unfulfilled wishes. It's about unfulfilled dreams. So it's not exactly scary.
Yeah.
It's actually more touching, and it's actually more educational. And I believe people who watch this show, it's probably going to come out early next year.
Okay.
So I believe people who watch this show will learn more about themselves, learn more about will probably be more inspired in their lives as well. So I'm kind of excited about it as well.
Is this a local production or is it a Chinese production shot in Malaysia?
It is a Chinese production shot in Malaysia, but they use Malaysia crew and they use a lot of Malaysia actors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How does it feel being back? And this should be
Culture
your
shock.
first. Yeah, this should be your first project in Malaysia after all these different projects in China, isn't it?
I have no time to feel anything because I work 14, 15 hours every day. Literally, I have 700 overseas. So I work 14, 15 hours every day for 4 months. Out of 4 months, I only have 7 days off.
My
So
God.
other than that, I was just like working and working and working. So I don't really have time to feel.
So if anybody
much.
thinks acting is glamorous, it's
I know.
really not, right?
Yeah, it's not.
But you
Yeah.
said that you love this lifestyle. You love this acting lifestyle.
Love-hate relationship.
But 14, 15 hours a
It's
day
too
is a
much.
bit too much.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Because in China, we I think because in our contract we will sign how many days we work a day, and I started off with 12 hours, and then when I got more known, I actually have the ability to sign 10 hours. When I come back to Malaysia, I actually signed 14 hours because I mean the show in itself is much harder to shoot than most other shows because of just the nature of it.
But I love the fact
Alright.
that you now go, well, you know what? For us in China, when we do it, that's not how we work, you know.
No, I mean
No, but seriously, I think we have much to improve
But
here.
14
in
hours is
Malaysia.
crazy,
Yeah.
though.
That's the
crazy.
norm though when you shoot a drama series here
Serious?
in Malaysia. Like
Is it
15
was
hours
it?
day.
I don't remember actually.
Yeah,
Were we
it
shooting 14,
is.
15 hours before?
Yes. I shot one recently also. It was 15-hour days.
Really? Because I
Yeah.
forgot. I forgot how it was. I forgot how it was like. Yeah.
But what's next? Any more projects in China? Maybe
Yes, I'm
Hollywood?
I'm actually starting a new production in early January. So
In
I'll be
China.
going back in China. So I'll be going back to China, and this is it's going to be a big show as well next year. I can't say too much details about it, but
Alright.
it's pretty exciting as well.
Oh
Are you-
wow.
Something
Are
I've
you-
never done before.
Are you expecting a call from Marvel anytime soon to be
No.
in Hollywood?
I actually auditioned for a lot of Hollywood projects, to be
snap,
very
really?
frank, but I never get it. I never get it. They always find me looking too young, and I actually auditioned for the latest season of Prison Break. I auditioned for Pacific Rim. I auditioned for
Did you audition for Crazy Rich Asian?
Yes, I did. And my British accent was so bad that there's no way I can get that role. I auditioned for a lot of things actually.
Yeah. But maybe
one
Hollywood
day.
is not yet in the
Not
books.
yet.
Yeah, not yet. Yeah, not
Yeah.
yet.
But okay, what would you say, Lawrence, as someone who's been through or someone who's been lost like you were in their career path? What would you say to someone who is struggling in their career right now, or maybe they are not sure whether this is the correct path for them?
You know, firstly, you have to be good at what you do. If you're a host, if you're an actor, if you're a singer, be really, really, really good at what you do. And also find out what is your unique selling point, you know, that other people don't have.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not enough to just be good at what you do, because everyone is good at what they do. You have to find out what is your unique selling point, and also struggle smartly. And that means you struggle. This is a bit hard to explain, but you struggle knowing that you have the chance to make it. But when you struggle to a point when you know that this is a time to stop, and this is a time to change course, or this is time to evolve your dream into something else that might not be entirely your dream in the first place, but it is related, or you get what I mean? Like you
Just
have to be,
pivot,
correct,
right? Be able
correct.
to pivot.
You have to be smart enough to recognize all these things. And all these things is a bit hard to teach you or to tell you, because there's no hard and fast rule. You have to find out for yourself. You have to feel for yourself. You have to,
Everything's a learning experience then.
Yeah.
Correct. But most importantly, always believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself, and always be hopeful. I think hope is the most important thing in the world, actually. Like if you ask me, is happiness important? Yes, but I would say hope is actually even more important in one's life. Because without hope, you might as well just not live, you know. So don't give up hope. If you feel like you're struggling, don't give up hope.
That should be on a t-shirt, man. I like that.
Really?
Well, thank you so much, Lawrence.
Thank you for having me.
speaking to us, and
Not at all. My
we
pleasure.
look forward to seeing all these exciting projects from you as well.